Welcome students. Today we are going to study kinematics, wherein we will be studying rest and motion, and then we will dealing with displacement, distance, velocity, average velocity, and instantaneous velocity, acceleration, average acceleration, instantaneous acceleration, and all. Right. So let's get started. Uh, Let me ask you a simple question. What is rest and what is motion? Basically, rest and motion. How it is related? Rest and motion. To illustrate rest and motion of an object, we need an observer. See, this is the object O. See, this is the object. It is being examined by an observer. Observer. Observer is observing it. See? So there should be how it is going to measure whether the particle is moving or not moving. ये कैसे पता लगाएगा? He should be having some benchmark. So for that we devise a reference point. See? Origin. A reference point. The observer will observe the position of this particle with respect to time. As time elapses, he will observe the change in his position with respect to this origin. Right? He will examine how far the object is from this origin at certain interval of times. So what he can conclude? That either the object is changing its position with respect to time. Right? So if the object is changing its position with respect of time, that means if the object, suppose we draw a coordinate axis 0, object is at position A at t1 time, and object is at position B at t2 time, wherein t2 is greater than t1, no matter how the object has traversed the path, right? So if we notice that there is a change in the position of the particle at A, which is this one, and B, which is this one, then there is a change in position from S1 to S2. Okay, so there is a change in position of the particle. So to ascertain whether a particle is moving or is at rest, we need to understand whether there is a change in the position from initial situation to the final situation. Okay, if there is no change, suppose we draw another graph. Right, we draw another graph over here. We draw another graph over here. You see, this is the axis. Again, this is the origin. And if the particle is moving in a straight line, this is point A, this is point B. The position of S is as same as S1. right? So we do not find any change in the position of the particle even though the time has elapsed from this point T1 to the point T2, right? Suppose this is the point T1 and this is the point T2. There is no change in the position of the object over a period of time. So we can say that the object is not changing its position. Right. Now, another situation. Suppose we are sitting on this earth, right? We are sitting on this earth and there is an object over here. It is at rest, okay? And another observer is sitting on the moon, right? Observer is sitting on the moon, okay? He is sitting over here. And another observer is at this point on the earth. Observer on earth, observer on moon, okay? Now, for this observer, this body is at rest. But for this observer, what is the situation? Since earth is rotating about its axis at the rate of 1 revolution per 24 hours, right? 1 revolution per 24 hours. So this observer will say that this object is moving, but this observer who is on the ground, on the earth's surface, is saying that this particle is at rest. So what we conclude? We conclude that the state of rest or motion depends on the frame of reference, right? Frame of reference from where we means observer is observing the object. Right. So the basic concept is that the state of rest or motion is not absolute. It primarily depends upon the object and the observer's positioning, right? So इसमें हम कभी नहीं कह सकते हैं कि एक व्यक्ति दूसरे व्यक्ति के लिए सही है या गलत है। मान लीजिए श्याम एक ट्रेन में बैठा है, सी देयर इज अ ट्रेन, which is moving in this direction, and Shyam is sitting over here. Ram is there with him, who is taller than him. Ram is sitting over here, and another observer who is there on the ground. Okay, he is at the ground. He is watching them also. He is on the ground. But the thing is that for Ram, Shyam is stationary. For Govind, for Govind, both Ram and Shyam are moving. If we consider Ram and Shyam, they will say that they are stationary, but Govind is moving in the opposite direction. Right? So, rest and motion are all relative terms. It primarily and totally depends on the relative position of the object which is being into observation and the observer who is observing the incidents. Right? So, this is my first lecture to illustrate the situation of rest and motion, wherein we have clarified there is nothing like absolute motion or absolute rest. It depends on the frame of reference which we are dealing with, right? So, before studying the rest and motion of any object, we need to freeze a frame of reference from where we are going to observe the object under study. Okay, thank you. In next lecture we will dealing with displacement, speed, and velocity, every velocity. Okay, thank you.